This is Company Saturdays. Every Saturday, we present you with another company. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Boston Dynamics. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hello, Aluxers. How's it going? We are so thrilled to have you here with us today, especially because we have some awesome things to share with you from the world of robotics at Boston Dynamics. This might not be your average discussion topic when meeting with a friend, but nothing about your lives should ever be average anyway. It seems like the golden age of robots has arrived. With all the impressive progress made in this area, people start talking more and more about robots replacing humans, and in some apocalyptic scenarios, taking over the world and wiping out the human race. But let's get back to our discussion topic, shall we? The rock star among robotics companies seems to be Boston Dynamics. Its various shaped robots and their capabilities made the company one of the most impressive robotics developers. It was founded back in 1992, and it's mostly known for its Big Dog robot, a quadrupled dog-like robot built for the US military. The company is now owned by Japanese SoftBank Group after being acquired in 2017 from Google X, a subsidiary of Alphabet Inc. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. With all that said, let's just dive in, shall we? Here are the 15 things you didn't know about Boston Dynamics. Number 1. Boston Dynamics has built robots for more than 20 years. The history of Boston Dynamics goes back to the 1980s, when it all began at a Leg laboratory that was a testing ground for developing brand new robots. In 1992, Mark Ribert founded Boston Dynamics, a company that at first focused on developing human simulation software to be used in law enforcement. Ribert's passion for robotic mobility led the company to expand and produce robotic machines. Although being the leading innovator in this sector, the company doesn't make much noise or announcements in the robotic area, choosing to work quietly, creating major value through its work. Boston Dynamics is specialized in creating robots that can move lifelike, climb, carry heavy loads, and even follow humans, mostly to be used in the military. Number 2. Boston Dynamics built a humanoid robot. By its name, Atlas, the humanoid robot made its public debut in 2013, but the creation wasn't entirely made by Boston Dynamics. It was a collaboration between DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, and some other tech companies that united their focus in order to deliver the world's most dynamic humanoid. In 2015, the old robot was replaced with a brand new version, Atlas 2.0, which is now wireless and battery-powered. Among the robot's skills, the Boston Dynamics website lists stereo vision, range sensing, compact with a high strength-to-weight ratio, and a dramatically large workspace. The robot is set to help military in their missions and promises to have the ability to balance while performing tasks. Number 3. The CEO and founder of Boston Dynamics is a former MIT professor. Mark Ribert received a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical engineering in university back in 1973 and a PhD from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in 1977. He worked at Carnegie Mellon University Computer Science Department and the Robotics Institute from 1981 until 1986. In 1986, he was professor of electrical engineering and computer science at MIT and a member of Artificial Intelligence Lab until 1995. Ribert has done a lot of research on systems that move dynamically, including physical robots and animal creatures. His lab at MIT is known for its work on systems that move dynamically, including legged robots, simulated mechanisms, and animated figures. Ribert remained the CEO of the company even if in 2013 Boston Dynamics was bought by Google and then sold to SoftBank in 2017. Number 4. Boston Dynamics was part of Google's robot army. Google certainly steps in to buy everything that's trending, and in 2013, Google purchased Boston Dynamics, which was the 8th robotics company acquired by Google in less than 1 year. In charge of the new department was the Android creator Andy Rubin, who left in October. At the moment of the acquisition, Boston Dynamics had a contract with the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, which Google said it would be honored, although in a statement they said they don't plan to become a military contractor. There isn't any information about Google's motives in purchasing the company, or how much Google paid for Boston Dynamics, but the multinational company planned to let Boston Dynamics go forward with their development plans. Number 5. Atlas was ranked in the top 10 most expensive robots in the world, being worth $2 million. Atlas is by far the most complex humanoid robot made by Boston Dynamics, and it was ranked number 3 on the top 10 most expensive robots in the world. This was expected considering the amount of research and constant development invested into the robot, not to mention that this is the 3rd Atlas robot released. The last version is very efficient and has a lot of upgrades from mobility to artificial intelligence incorporation. In 2013, the Department of Defense had a $2 million contest for developing software to give Atlas a better brain. It has a control system that coordinates the motion of the arms, torso, and legs to have a whole-body mobile manipulation. Due to all this, Atlas is worth $2 million. Number 6. Boston Dynamics was bought by SoftBank. After 4 years of ownership, Google decided to sell Boston Dynamics to SoftBank. The Japanese organization, situated in Tokyo, is a telecommunications company whose main focus is on advanced telecommunications, internet services, smart robotics, AI, and clean energy. SoftBank started as a monthly magazine about computers before switching to mobile telecommunications. Currently, they're working to create a $100 billion fund for technology investments. Masayoshi Son, SoftBank's CEO, said that smart robotics is the key of the next information revolution, and that Mark and his team at Boston Dynamics are leaders in the world of advanced dynamic robots. He even stated that he is thrilled to have them in the SoftBank family and will support them to continue advancing in this field for the purpose of making life easier. Number 7. Google and Boston Dynamics split because they had different approaches. To understand the tension between Boston Dynamics and Google, it's important to look back on the past and see how different the two companies are. Boston Dynamics was born in an MIT leg lab, and they aim to develop the most advanced robots on Earth with remarkable mobility, agility, dexterity, and speed. But this kind of research and development takes years, not to mention that before being bought by Google, Boston Dynamics survived on contracts from the U.S. military. For many years, their primary focus was to build robots that could help Marines on the field. Google wasn't prepared to support this kind of company, and then the problem came to surface when Rubin, co-founder of Android and set to lead the robotics company, caused Boston Dynamics to leave Google. Number 8. Boston Dynamics has a thing for impressive robots. The name Boston Dynamics is well known, especially for those who have a passion for robots. The company manages to amaze all its public with every release of videos with robot prototypes of all shapes and sizes. The creepiness is not by design, but by the robot's movements that imitates human and animal movements. The reason for being so impressive is because their movements are so familiar. It's like they're half biological, half machine. Handle is a hybrid who can jump 4 feet straight up, can pick up 100 pounds of cargo, and has both legs and wheels. Imagine that! Another amazing robot is Cheetah, who's all about speed. It holds a record for legged robots because it can run 29 miles per hour. Another strange robot is Rise, which has the body of an insect but can climb on any surface, even telephone poles, with its 6 legs. Quite impressive, huh? Number 9. Boston Dynamics robots are rapidly evolving. When it comes to movement improvements and showing people what robots can do and how rapidly they can adapt for any situation, Boston Dynamics believes there's no time to waste. The latest test of Boston Dynamics robots assessed a situation in which a couple of robots needed to escape a lab, and it was a success. In the future, these robots could be trained to be a part of rescue missions that are too dangerous for humans to go on. A unique thing that Boston Dynamics does is they put their robots out in the real world for robots to interact with environmental challenges. Interesting. Number 10. DARPA gave Boston Dynamics $32 million for a bigger big dog. Boston Dynamics received from DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, and the Marine Corps a contract for $32 million to build an upgraded version of the Big Dog called Legged Squad Support System, or LS3. This robot is aimed to be better than the previous one, with a better activity range, heavier carrying capacity, and more agility. The original Big Dog was built to carry out equipment or even heavier systems on mountainous or uneven terrains where the vehicles can't go. The LS3 will be able to carry a 400-pound load 20 miles with a refuel at every 24 hours. It will have cameras and GPS signals in order to follow the squad autonomously, and they also want to make him faster and capable of jumping over obstacles. Number 11. Boston Dynamics plans to integrate robots in real life. Mark Rybert, CEO of Boston Dynamics, announced at a TechCrunch Robotics event that Spot Mini is currently in pre-production and the company will start selling them in 2019. At its first presentation, Spot Mini walked, rolled over, and even put objects in a dishwasher. In a few words, it's good to have this robot around the house. For construction of the robot, Boston Dynamics plans to work with the manufacturer for the first commercial release. In the beginning, only 100 robots will be available for purchase. The company didn't say how much Spot Mini will cost, but admittedly the current prototype is 10 times less to build than the previous one, which should also lower the price significantly. Number 12. Spot Mini learned to open doors. The Boston Dynamics robot, Spot Mini, really impressed the world with its new ability to open a door by itself and even hold it open for another robot to walk through. Spot Mini is the dog robot we mentioned before, able to walk on 4 legs, that also has an extendable arm that's used to reach out and grab objects. The robot weighs 25 kilograms and has its own electrical system, which can support it for about 90 minutes before it needs to be recharged. Boston Dynamics said the robot is the quietest they've ever built, and it seems like people are very curious about the mobility of Spot Mini and how they could integrate it into their lives. It sure wouldn't hurt to have a robot holding doors for you now, would it? Number 13. Boston Dynamics robot Atlas can enlist in the military anytime. When Google bought Boston Dynamics, the makers of the revolutionary Atlas, they stated the robotics company will stop taking military contracts. This didn't mean the military couldn't buy Atlas. In fact, it can actually enlist in the military at any time. The military is very satisfied with the evolution of Atlas, and just because Boston Dynamics doesn't work directly with the US military, doesn't mean that DARPA will not see Atlas in the field. In fact, in the near future, an army of Atlases could be more affordable. Number 14. The US Marine Corps won't be using Boston Dynamics robotic dogs anymore. After closing a contract with Boston Dynamics for the Big Dog, the US military changed their mind and rejected the robot. When Big Dog was tested on the field, 2 big flaws emerged. The robot was too big and too loud to be used. In other words, it could hurt missions. Boston Dynamics used some of DARPA's funds to make a smaller and faster robotic dog called Spot. Unfortunately, it was useless for the military because it had an electrical engine. A lot quieter but less helpful because it was only able to carry 40 pounds. The robo-dog is now in storage, and if another contract doesn't come up, they'll not work in the military anytime soon. Number 15. Boston Dynamics is a company with just 100 employees. Even if it has millions of views on YouTube and is globally recognized, Boston Dynamics is actually a small company with only 100 engineers. They are not a big team, but they are extremely focused. In fact, Aaron Saunders, VP of Engineering of Boston Dynamics, said over the past 15 years they focused on basic principles of the mechanics and locomotion of robotics, with the goal of changing people's minds regarding their abilities. He also stated it's not about money, but about their own understanding of how they can match the controls on complex machines and how they can drive innovation to the group. Given the world is now more aware of robotics, they are getting closer and closer to their goal. Well, Aluxers, that's a wrap on Boston Dynamics. Thanks for watching our video. We hope you heard some new and interesting facts about the company. But as always, you know we're curious. So before you go, we'd like to know, would you enjoy owning a mini robot to help you out around the house? Let us know in the comments. And as always, for watching until the end and being a true Aluxer, you know you get a bonus. Here it is. Number 16. Boston Dynamics' robots scare people. When it comes to Boston Dynamics' robots, the internet is going crazy. It's in the culture of people to fear what they don't know, and that's no different in the case of Boston Dynamics products. When the robotic company released a video in which Atlas was going out for a jog, a lot of questions popped out. Why is the robot running? What did it do? Will it replace jobs in the future? And when the video with the Spot Mini opening the door was released, there was a lot of noise on Twitter, people saying that Boston Dynamics will be the end of all humanity. Some even said that Boston Dynamics is bragging about being the developers of people's future mass murderers. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.